You ever just lay in bed at night and your mind is racing a million miles an hour? Like, you're exhausted, you want to sleep, but your brain is just replaying every conversation from the day, worrying about tomorrow, thinking about that thing you said 5 years ago. Or maybe you're trying to focus on something important, but your thoughts keep pulling you in 17 different directions at once. You sit down to work, to study, to create something, and it's like there's this constant mental noise that just won't shut up, right? And here's the thing, you've probably tried to stop thinking so much. You've told yourself, just stop overthinking. Just be calm, just focus. But the harder you try to force your thoughts to be quiet, the louder they seem to get. It's like trying to fall asleep by demanding that you fall asleep. It doesn't work that way, does it? The more you fight your thoughts, the more tangled up you become in them. So why does this happen? Why can't we just turn off our minds when we want to? Well, what you have to realize is that your brain is designed to think. That's its job. It's constantly processing information, solving problems, keeping you safe by anticipating threats. Your thoughts aren't the enemy here. The problem is that you're rethinking. The problem is that you're refighting against the natural flow of your thoughts. You're trying to force silence, and force creates tension, and tension creates more thoughts, more anxiety, more mental noise. See, most of us have this relationship with our thoughts where we believe we need to control them. We think if we can just suppress the negative ones, eliminate the anxious ones, push away the uncomfortable ones, then we'll finally have peace. But that's not how the mind works, right? When you try to control your thoughts, you're actually giving them more power. You're making them more important. It's like telling yourself, don't think about a pink elephant. What's the first thing you think about? Exactly. So what can we do about this? How do we quiet our thoughts without trying to force them into submission? The first thing you need to understand is this. You quiet your thoughts by fighting them. You quiet them by allowing them. I know that sounds backwards, but stay with me. When a thought comes up, maybe it's a worry, maybe it's a random memory, maybe it's just noise. Instead of trying to push it away, you simply notice it. You observe it like you're watching clouds pass by in the sky. You don't grab onto the cloud. You don't try to push it away. You just watch it drift by, because that's what thoughts do naturally. They come and they go. They only stick around when we grab onto them, when we fight them, when we give them our full attention and energy. What you have to realize is that thoughts are not facts. They're not commands. They're just mental events. Just because you think something doesn't mean you have to believe it, analyze it, or act on it. You can let it be there without becoming it. This is the difference between being lost in thought and being aware of thought. One makes you a prisoner. The other sets you free. Here's the second solution. Return to your breath. This is probably the most powerful tool you have, and it's with you every single moment of your life. When your mind is racing, when thoughts are spiraling, your breath becomes your anchor. You don't need to control your breath in some complicated way. You just bring your attention to it. Notice the air moving in through your nose. Notice your chest or belly rising and falling. Feel the temperature of the air. Feel the natural rhythm. What happens when you do this? Your mind has something to focus on that isn't a thought. Your nervous system begins to calm down because conscious breathing sends a signal to your body that you're safe. And here's the beautiful part. You're not forcing your thoughts to stop. You're just redirecting your attention. The thoughts might still be there in the background, but you're not feeding them with your focus anymore. It's like turning down the volume on a radio. The station is still playing, but you're not listening to every word anymore. Right? Try it right now. Just take a slow breath in. Hold it for a moment. Let it out, slowly. Do that 3 times. Notice how even just doing that creates a little space between you and your thoughts. That space is where peace lives. The third thing, and this is crucialis, to practice self-compassion. So many of us beat ourselves up for having a busy mind. We think there is something wrong with us because we can't just be zen all the time. But listen, you're human. You're not broken because you think a lot. You're not failing because your mind wanders. What you have to realize is that even the calmest, most mindful people in the world have thoughts that pop up. The difference is, they don't judge themselves for it. They don't create a second layer of suffering by thinking, I shouldn't be thinking this, Or why can't I just be calm? When you notice your mind is busy, instead of frustration, try curiosity. Instead of saying, ooga, here we go again, try saying, oh, interesting. My mind is active right now. That's okay. See the difference? One response creates more tension. The other creates acceptance. And acceptance is where thoughts naturally begin to settle. Think of your mind like a snow globe. When you shake it up when you're stressed, when you're fighting your thoughts, everything is chaotic and cloudy. But when you just set it down and leave it alone, the snow naturally settles. You don't have to force it. You just have to stop shaking it. Here's something that might help you. Throughout your day, especially when you notice your thoughts getting loud, pause and ask yourself, where am I right now? Not mentally, physically. Look around. Notice 3 things you can see. Feel your feet on the ground. This brings you out of your head and into the present moment, because your thoughts can take you into the past or future, but the present moment is always quiet. It's always peaceful. You just have to remember to come back to it. And here's the thing about all of this, it's a practice. You're not going to do this once and suddenly have a perfectly quiet mind forever. Some days will be easier than others. Some moments you'll remember to breathe and observe. Other moments you'll get caught up in the mental noise. And that's okay. That's part of being human. What matters is that you keep coming back. You keep choosing awareness over resistance. You keep being gentle with yourself. So remember this. Your thoughts don't need to be your enemy. They don't need to be silenced or defeated. They just need to be seen for what they are: temporary, passing events in your consciousness. When you stop fighting them, when you breathe and allow and observe, something beautiful happens. The noise doesn't have to disappear completely. It just loses its grip on you. And in that space, you find the peace you've been searching for all along. You've got this. One breath at a time. One moment at a time. You're more powerful than your thoughts, and you always have been.